What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Banking on Cultura. I am so excited to have you here. And today I have a guest who is literally the reason why I'm here and why Banking on Cultura exists. He is a big inspiration behind this show. He is the reason why I am proud to be Latina. He is the reason why I am the woman I am today. He's my North Star, my pride and joy. Many of you might have met him if you follow me on the social media streets, but I'm really excited to welcome him to the show today and join me as I am your host, Jenn Rodriguez, and this is the man, the reason behind why this is all possible, my daddy, Victor Rodriguez. Hey, Daddy.
Hey, Dad. How you doing, City?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Can you believe you're on my show right now?
I know. I can believe it. This is the first time I do this, Vicky.
I know.
I'm going to be nervous.
Don't be nervous.
Okay.
We want you to be your natural, beautiful, amazing, loving self.
Okay.
It's just you and me, like we're having a conversation in the sala. So no need to be nervous. It's just me and you having a conversation.
Okay.
So, one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on the show was because I want to be able to have this memory forever. Like, I want to be like, I interviewed my dad on my show, and it's one of those things that I get to carry with me always and forever. So I'm really excited that we got to have you here today, Daddy.
Thank you.
And you're looking all GQ. You're looking really fine. Show the people your shoe. Like, lift up.
I bought this outfit for this special day.
Oh, pero tú tan chula.
Yeah,
tú tan chula.
Thank you.
And if you guys wonder where I get my flair and my personality, my mom definitely plays into that. But as you can see, my dad, he has this energy, and you guys are going to get to know him, which I'm really excited about. So let's start, Daddy, yeah?
Yes.
Let's get this party started.
All right.
All right, let's go. So we like to start the show with what's the bonchinche? So share some bonchinche, papi.
The bochinches on you.
The bonchinche is on me?
That's right.
You going to tell him something about me?
That's right.
Oh, okay. What are you going to tell him?
Well, the first time you dating this guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's where we going with this? Okay.
Yeah, he was a security guard in
¿A dónde?
He was a security guard
in Rikers Island. No, he was a corrections officer.
In Rikers Island.
Yeah, in Rikers Island.
So he came to the house. All right. I was sitting in the living room. I just came right to the kitchen, opened the refrigerator, got a beer. And he sat down and he said nothing. I said, what the does this guy think? He owned the house over here. Then I called you in the kitchen. I said, Vicky, get the here. This guy is no good for you. And then you say, oh, you have to leave because my dad said, but why? I said, go ahead, leave, goodbye. Adios.
Oh my God. I remember those days when when I used to bring boys to the house. But you were actually a really cool dad, though, because you handled it like a champ. Because when I look back and think about the fellas I brought to the house, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that I brought them to the house. But you were a good.
Yeah, I always say to you, this guy is no good.
You did. And every guy you said was no good turned out to be no good. And then
3 months later, I said, Daddy, you was right.
Yeah. Yeah, right? You was right.
Remember that?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
So I think I want to start this over, Daddy. Because you dropping a lot of F-bombs at the beginning of the show. And I don't know if people are ready. Like, I want them to warm up to you, before we throw the F-bombs, okay? You can curse, but just not at the beginning. I want them to, fall in love with you first.
Okay.
Yeah, in case the sponsors, you know what I'm saying? We got to keep them under wraps. We might even keep this in because this is pretty funny. Okay. We're starting this over again. All right.
So he came up the step, went to the kitchen, opened the refrigerator, and helped himself with a beer.
Oh.
And then he didn't say hello to me. He sit down in the other chair, drinking his beer. I said, what? This guy is thinking on the apartment over here or something.
He think he pay rent?
Yeah. And then I call you in the kitchen. I said, Vicky, get this guy out of here. Sorry. This guy is not for you.
It's really interesting, Daddy. Literally, every guy that you said that was not for me turned out to be not for me.
That's right. Yeah.
So, whenever...
I've been around.
You've been around the block a couple of times?
Yeah, been around the block a couple of times.
That is so funny because I remember all the dudes I used to bring to the house. Not many, but when I did bring the dudes over, you literally called it right there on the spot. Right there on the spot. You were like, no,
Yeah,
Victoria,
yeah.
eso no es.
Yeah.
Eso no es.
That's
And
right.
you're always right. Even to this day.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's get into this interview now that you shared the bonchinche.
Okay.
Even though it was about me. So if you guys didn't know, a lot of my flair, personality, vibrancy comes from my daddy. I mean, you see his look. You see he is fly from head to toe. Un papi aquí. You know, he's keeping it cultura out with the guayabera over here. When we were driving here for this interview, I was like, Daddy, where does this shirt come from? Like, where does it originate? And it was interesting because Papi said Puerto Rico and then Cuba.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
we Googled it. And there's actually a lot of controversy as to where the shirt, this is the guayabera, the shirt, where it came from. So it's like really interesting to know that there's controversy within the community. I don't know if you guys knew that, but just FYI, that was a learning we had on the car ride in over here. Pero Daddy, thank you for looking the part as always.
You're
keeping
welcome.
it cute
You're
y
welcome.
todo.
Thank you. You deserve it.
But that's also just your personality. You know, you always got to be chulito everywhere you go.
I know, yeah.
So let's talk about our story, because I think our story is really special. At least, you know, for me, growing up a daddy's girl, you know, my dad raised me as a single dad for several years. So let's talk about how...
For 26 years.
For 26 years.
That's right.
Oh, wow. Okay. So for 26 years, my dad raised me as a single parent. But our story is interesting. And maybe some parents who are watching can relate, or maybe you can relate because you've experienced this with your own parents. So the way that I was conceived, my dad was married, right?
Yeah.
My mom was also in a relationship, and they met, fell in love, cheated on their spouses, and had me.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Thank God for that.
Aw, so I was a love child, in a sense, ¿verdad?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so tell the story, papi. So, you know, you found out my mom was married, and what was that like?
Well, you know, I fell in love with her, you know. We lived together for a while, and then you born, and then I had my issues. I don't know, you know, if I'm going to go back to her. And then I went to the hospital to see you, and then I carry in my hand, in my arm, and I give you the biberon. And instead I said, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful.
Aww.
So I stayed with her. And we lived together for almost...
So you fell in love when you saw me, essentially.
Yeah, over 8 years, I think.
Over 8 years. And my mother purposely named me after you, right? Because Daddy's Victoria. Daddy's Victor. I'm Victoria. So she did that purposely for the setup, because originally you didn't want me because you had a whole family.
Yeah. In the beginning.
Yeah. So it's a little iffy there, you know?
Yeah.
But then, so she gave birth, and you decided to raise me, be with my mom.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Well, and then she left when you were 6 or 5. Also, we had her daughter with us.
My sister Christy. Shout out to Christy.
And she lived a couple of days, you know, a week, and she didn't come home. I said, well, okay, what am I going to do? So I called Christy's father. I said, I'm going to bring your daughter because I can handle it too.
You can handle 2 girls, yeah.
So, okay, so I bring her over to his house. I said, okay, no problem, bring her over. And it was very hard for me because I worked 8 to 8 for 6 days, you know, and then I bring you, we get up every morning at 4 o'clock. I dress you up, comb your hair. You're not even my hair. You cried because your hair, because I was trying to hurry up. And then I bring you to the babysitter. She bring you to school, and then she pick you up from school. And then I pick you up at 9 o'clock at night. And then take you home, take a shower, fix your clothes for the next day and everything. It was not easy for me, but I prayed to God, please help me to raise my daughter, to give her education. And I did it. It was hard, but I did it. I did it.
You sure did, Daddy.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then my boss, owner of the delicatessen Wolf Deli, I used to work there. So Victor.
In the city, down by Wall Street.
Yeah, by Wall Street, downtown. And then I said, I'm going to build a restaurant in Orlando. He said, I want you to come. and my friend Howie too. Okay, so we went over there. We drove over there. I found an apartment and everything nice. So 2 weeks later, your teacher called me that you better get your daughter or she's gonna wind up in a foster home.
Because I was walking home alone.
Because
How
alone
old was
I'm
I?
with your kid. Of 6 years, I think.
I was 6 years old, and I had a shoestring with my key that I used to carry around
and
my
then
neck.
the teacher saw that, and she called me. And I said, no. So I called your mother, said, I sent her some money for the cafe, put my daughter in a plane. And that's it. We lived there about 3 years.
In Orlando.
Yeah. Everything was good because the daycare center was across the street and the school too, right there. It was right in front of the door.
You know what's interesting, Daddy? I wonder if a lot of my independence comes from me walking home alone from school when I was so young.
Yeah, that's
me taking the plane by myself to go meet you in Orlando.
In Orlando,
Yeah. And I remember when I was little, because I was traveling alone, they used to put me in first class.
Yeah, and there was a lady with you all the time.
Yes, one of the stewardess were always with me.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because at like a young age, it was almost like a foreshadowing. You know, I was traveling. I was in first class, living la vida.
What happened? One night you was burning in fever about 2 o'clock in the morning.
When we were in Orlando.
Yeah. Oh my God! So I dressed you up. I went in the car. I took you to the hospital. You got infection in your tonsil. And then I bring you home, and then I take week home, take care of you, and then you was okay, and then went back to work. And 2 years later, my boss called me that he gonna come to close the restaurant because his brother he didn't do a good job.
Okay.
I said, oh my God! Now, I tried to work at night hotel. At night it paid good money, but who's gonna take care of you? I said no. So I called him in New York. I said, my job is still available for me. He said, yeah, come on. So one Friday a week, he put everything, your clothes, in a suitcase and everything. We get it in a car, and we drive to New York.
And we was out.
We was out.
We was out of there.
Yeah. And then we lived with my aunt's house for 2 weeks, and then I found an apartment. And then come along Christine, I got married. She helped me to raise you. And from there, you love to work.
Yeah.
You were 17, you went to the catering place, and then you work for a construction company.
I know. Hold on. I want to tell the people the story when we were in Orlando and how I made you marry that lady.
Oh, my God. Oh, don't even mention her.
So, okay, here's the thing, right? I'm a little girl. It's just me and my dad. I'm missing my mom. I'm missing, just having a woman in the house.
Yeah.
So I remember we met this lady, and you were dating her, and she treated me like a princess.
Yeah,
she was sweet. Yeah. She was cool. And so I put the guilt on my dad, and I was like, Daddy, I want a mom.
I want you to marry her. He said, oh, my God, Vicky. He said, okay. So I married her. Oh, what a disaster. Then she was Irish, and then she was drunk almost every day. I couldn't handle it no more.
You couldn't handle it no more. No. She also tried to take me away from
you. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, and then I had to get my cousin to come and get you to her house.
I remember. And then do you remember what you said to me after you got divorced from her?
He said, don't ever get involved in my relationship.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
And then,
learn my lesson.
And then I came here, bring you to school, and then.
So we're okay. We got to keep people on the track. Okay. So we're in Orlando. We build a life there. I force you to get married. We get divorced. They decide that they want to close down the restaurant. So we packed up our stuff, came to New York. And we lived with Tia Carmen. Yeah. I remember. Oh my God, this woman was amazing. She was hilarious, by the way. So we lived there for a little bit before we found an apartment.
Yeah.
Then we found an apartment. And how old was I at that time?
I think you was about 7 or 8 or 9, something like that.
9. Okay. So after we left Tia Carmen's house, we had our own place.
Yeah.
We found a babysitter.
Yeah, across the street.
Yeah. And you were still working crazy hours.
Yeah.
You were still,
8 to 8. Yeah,
8 to 8. And I think that's another reason why I am the way I am with work ethic because I've seen how you have literally busted your ass.
Yes, I know.
And been in the trenches.
Yeah.
And literally raised me by yourself, working 8 to 8.
Yeah, by myself.
That's crazy.
I said, I did a good job.
You sure did.
I'm so proud of you. Oh. You know, the way you become, the woman today. Oh, my God. Yeah, I never expect that,
Yeah.
You turn around like that, but I'm proud of myself. Thank God.
Yes,
That's right. That's right.
You know, Daddy, what is your advice? Because, depending on how you look at it, you kind of played yourself. Like you were married and then cheated, and that's how you had me.
I make mistakes, but I turn my life around when you come to my life. Mm-hmm. And then, I did go. And after that, we met Christine and we got divorced. We lived about 20 years or 18 years together.
Mm-hmm. That was the next woman.
The next woman. Married. And then I've been around the block. And then that was it. I decided to stay by myself.
Now. Okay, hold on. Okay. So I want to keep people on the journey with us.
Okay.
So came back to New York, lived with Tia Carmen. Then we had our own apartment. Then we were back into the routine. You were working 8 to 8. I was at the babysitter. We did that. Wow. And then you said I love to work.
Yeah, you do.
How was that?
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Ooh, this is really good. You should know about this. So I don't know about you, but I've been known to procrastinate, especially when things scare the hell out of me. The fear alone would have me stuck, overwhelmed, confused, and all types of self-doubt. And don't even get me started on the imposter syndrome. Okay. After getting laid off, not once, but 3 times, honey, I realized that the security blanket that I made up in my head was just an excuse because I didn't really want to bet on myself. The corporate benefits that had me in that headlock, girl, they went out the window once my job decided that they no longer needed me.
Turns out that I'll save a whole nickel if I cut your salary completely.
The truth is, the only security blanket guarantee is the one that you create for yourself. In other words, until you start a business, you will always be at the mercy of a company's headcount, and you will never have complete control over your time, which means you'll be renting out your thought leadership and helping build someone else's dream instead of your own. If you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. Don't you think it's time you stop playing small and tap all the way into your power, sis? Click on the link above or below this video to learn my 3-step process, the exact 3 steps that I took to make the transition from corporate to entrepreneurship. And this is helpful even if you don't know what type of business to start and have only one source of income. And this is absolutely free. It is my gift to you. I want you to win. It's winning season. In fact, what's that? It smells like winning season. Okay, so tap in and I'll see you inside the training. Let's go. Hola, mi gente. Banking on Cultura can be found on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. So if you're on the audio wave, make sure to check us out over there.
Well, right away you help in the house and then you find a job in a catering place. Right, Cross Bay.
Yeah, I remember in Howard Beach.
In Howard Beach, yeah. Mm-hmm. And you were working there serving wine or something to the table.
I was serving food and wine and everything.
Yeah, like a waitress.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did a good job there. And then from there, you work in a construction company.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember it was like an Indian company, I think. And I remember working for them.
Yeah.
And I was literally working since I was 13. Since I was able to get like working papers from school.
Yeah.
I was working since I was 13.
Yeah, you love to work,
Yeah.
You love to work. You love making money.
I sure do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we do at Banking on Cultura. We talk about the cultura and securing the big bag. That's what we do. That's what we do. Okay, so then I was working. Then I went to college. You know what I just thought about? How interesting it was that the restaurant that was on Wall Street that you started with before we went to Florida.
Yeah.
I was already on Wall Street when I was a little girl. And then when I graduated from college, I ended up back on Wall Street.
In the Wall Street, that's
Isn't
right.
That interesting?
Yeah, that's something. Yeah, you see? Unbelievable.
I remember when you used to wake me up in the mornings, and I used to sleep in the restaurant in the booths.
Yeah, in the booth. Yeah, you remember that now?
Yes, I remember, because I was tired. I was like, oh my God, it's so early that we are here. But yeah, I remember all of that. And I know that a lot of my work ethic comes from you and watching you.
Did it.
Because you came here, how old were you when you came here, papi? From Puerto Rico?
I think 16, I think it was.
You were
15 and
16.
about 15 and a half.
And did you come here with like a plan? Like, why did you want to come here?
Well, I came here to study.
Okay.
You know,
to go to school.
To go to school because I was working in Puerto Rico and I would go to the school and learn English.
Oh, okay.
So I worked in, the owner was a Jewish guy, Livlich.
Okay.
And then he burned down to the ground there. I decided to come here.
So you didn't know English when you first came here?
Yeah, a few words, not much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You knew the curse words.
Yeah, no, I went to school.
Okay, okay.
So from there,
Pero you came here to study because it was hard in Puerto Rico? You wanted to make money? Like, what was the
I
reason?
just want to come to try, to try New York. They said New York, it was the opportunity, a lot of opportunity, everything. So,
That's what they would say on the island?
Yeah,
that there was a lot
they
of
came here, to make money too.
Mm-hmm.
So that was it. I came here and I started to work.
Yeah.
Right away, 10 hours a day, 6 days, making $60.
Wow.
Yeah,
$60 a week, right?
Yeah.
He was making.
But everything was cheap. The subway was a nickel. Everything was so cheap. The rent, 3-bedroom, $49.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was so cheap.
Yeah.
And then you can save some money too.
Yeah. Was it a culture shock for you when you came to New York from Puerto Rico? Like, was it hard for you to kind of like adapt?
No, not really. I got up right away.
Okay.
Because I know people, right away, and I got to work,
Mm-hmm.
and it was easy, not too hard for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm an easy guy going,
Yeah.
So
it was easy for you to transition.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm. How did the ladies respond to you when you came to New York?
Well, I fell in love with one.
Oh, yeah?
That's why I forget my stories.
Oh, okay. Ahora está de bochinche.
Ahora no.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I canceled the school and everything.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Why? Because you were just like chasing her around?
Yeah, but I just, Oh my God. That was a crazy day.
Trouble with the ladies.
Yeah.
Trouble with the ladies.
Anyway.
Pero like, even now you got ladies around that's like catering to you, wanting to cook for you and clean for you.
Yeah. But no, nothing serious.
Nothing serious. No.
No.
Just chilling.
Just chilling. That's it.
Just entertainment.
Yeah, enjoying my life, and everything. Because of you.
Aw, thank you, Daddy.
And, everything is good.
Everything is good.
Yeah.
So let's offer some advice because you've got so much wisdom in you. ¿Cuánto años tiene, papi?
81.
81, y'all.
Ooh.
My daddy is 81. Chulito over here, kicking and moving. My dad has more of a social life than I do. Seriously. Like, daddy be outside. I'll be like, what'd you do this weekend? Oh, I went to the barbecue. Or, oh, I went to go see this band. Oh, I went to this party, Victoria, and I was dancing until 2 o'clock in the morning. I just took some shots of vodka and my knees didn't hurt anymore. These are the stories.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, my God.
That I get from him.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to tell some like funny stories from my childhood, and then I want to get into some advice because, like I said, you have so much great wisdom. So do you want to tell the people about, because this is also very much about cultura, right?
Yeah.
So do you want to tell the chicken story to the people?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, tell the people.
Okay. I think it was 5 years old. The teacher called me one day. He said, you better come right away to the school because Vicky do something that maybe she needs some help or shrink or counseling. I said, why? I tell you why. So she tell me that they bring this little chicken in the school to show the kids. So you take one in your hand and you squeeze it. You get so excited that you kill the chicken. And I said, teacher, I killed about 100 chicken in Puerto Rico, and I didn't need no counseling, no shrink. And you're supposed to watch her. Okay, and what happened? I said, okay, goodbye. So I put you to another school. That was, oh my God, I don't believe it.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
I don't believe it. That was something. Ay.
That is a story that is told so many times at like family gatherings.
Yeah.
Especially when my family is like trying to tease me to like calm down because I got a lot of energy. And they'll be like, Victoria, remember the chicken story? It is like one of those classics in the family.
That was something.
What is really hilarious was your response to that story.
Yeah.
And what did the teacher say when you said, you know how many chickens I killed in Puerto Rico?
She said, what? Yeah. I killed a lot of chicken in Puerto Rico, and then, I didn't need no counseling, no nothing. She's just a little kid. She gets so excited, and she squeezes. But you're supposed to watch her, and then she didn't say a word. And then I said, goodbye. We left, me and your mother, we left with you.
Oh, my God. That story was so funny. Okay. What do I want to go to next? Do you want to... Do you want to tell the people about how when we vacation, what people think when we're on vacation together?
Oh, we got a wheelchair.
No, not the wheelchair. We're going to get into that. What do people think when we're on vacation?
Yeah. We said they think that I'm your sugar daddy. we go, we talk and we hug and everything, and they say, look at that guy with a young girl.
You know why? Because me and Daddy, we vacation, we go out to restaurants all the time, we do super cute things, and it's just like me and him, and we have such an amazing relationship. Like, I think it's easy for people to see, like, how much love is there, like, whenever they're around us. So if you're seeing it from afar, it's very easy to assume because the sugar daddies is out here. Right? They out here. But it's so funny because, like, we'll be on the beach and we'll be, like, tanning, drinking some pina coladas or something. And, like, there's people, like, looking at us and we can tell, like, they probably think you're my sugar daddy, papi. It is so funny. It is so funny. Maybe we should play something out one day, like to just trick them or something. Maybe hold hands or something, going to the restaurant. That would be so funny.
Oh my God.
But yeah, guys. So if you got a daddy who's aging and you go on vacation together, just know they probably think that that's your sugar daddy because we get those stares all the time, and it is so funny. Okay, so let's get into the advice portion. So what is your advice to dads who are raising daughters? What is your advice to them?
Well, tell them, you better pray to God to help them to raise the kids. Mm-hmm. And, you go along and everything and take care of your kids, and take them to school, college, or get an education. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But,
like, what type of advice would you get them when it gets, like, really hard? Like, outside of talking to God, like, was there anything else that you did that helped you, like, get through it?
But to help me, I won't think about it too much.
Okay.
I just go along.
Just do.
I just do what I do, and be happy to do it. And that's it. You don't have to. You don't have to get stressed out or nothing. Mm-hmm. Just be happy and everything. Mm-hmm. Don't get angry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So how did you exercise patience? Because I'm pretty sure I was a lot to handle.
Sometimes a little too hard, but I did it.
Yeah. So like in those moments, like,
but you was good. But you told me, Daddy, I'm going out. It's okay. 11 o'clock. And you was sharp, right? 11 o'clock right there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you was good.
I was a good kid.
And then your first boyfriend, he said, I'm going to take Victoria to the movie. He said, 9 o'clock. And you was sharp. 9 o'clock was there.
Okay. Yeah. I think I get a lot of, like, me being punctual and on time from you. Because you...
Yeah.
Let me tell you something about Daddy, y'all. My daddy is 15 minutes early anywhere he goes.
That's right.
We just came back from Puerto Rico and I was ready to like strangle him because he won the plane. Like, he wanted to get to the airport like 3 hours early. And I'm like, why? Why are we getting to the airport 3 hours early? Like, we got time. Like, cógelo suave. Like, why are we getting there 3 hours early? That was so funny. Okay, so advice for dads is to pray up.
Yeah.
Have patience.
Have patience.
Breathe.
A lot of patience.
Right? Breathe.
Breathe, yeah.
Try your best not to get stressed. And to think good thoughts, basically, right? To remind yourself that, you know.
Just remind yourself that you had a job to do, you know, and everything. Yeah.
And what's the job?
But take care of your kids.
Yeah.
You know, that's a big job right there.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a single parent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we also had a really great family that helped.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, I think that's
very
also...
helped me out. Yeah.
You had like a community around you that was like willing to help you.
Yeah.
And I would go to their house and sneak into their room and get red lipstick and put it all over their walls.
And powder. In my cousin's house. Oh, my God. Every time I call my cousin, we go into your house now. She put everything away. Oh, Victoria's coming.
We gotta hide everything.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So, Heka, my dad's cousin.
Yeah.
We were just at a family barbecue and she was telling me this story of how I would go into my other cousins' rooms who were older than me. They were like, I think they were like teenagers.
Teenagers,
And I would go in their room and they would have posters of, who was it? It was like this famous boy band, and I would go into the room.
Menudo.
Menudo, yeah. I would go into their room and tear down the posters to a point where she was like, I can't take care of Victoria no more. So she had her neighbor take care of me because her daughters wanted to kill me, my cousins. So funny. Funny times. Okay, so let's give some advice around caring for an elder parent, because I know for many of you who are tuning in, you either are already caring for older parents or it's about to happen. And I want to offer some advice to you guys, hearing it straight from the source of the best way to manage and get through that process. I remember for me, and maybe it was a big aha moment for you too, Daddy, was the first time we had to put you in a wheelchair.
Oh, yeah.
So my dad's knees have bothered him for quite some time, and we would always try to convince him, like, Daddy, we got to get you a cane. I even got him like a pimp cane, like really nice cane, so that he's styling and profiling, but he would not rock the cane. And I'm like, okay, Daddy, like, we got to get this weight off your knees, because what do I tell you? You got to walk me down the aisle, right? That's what I tell you all the time. So we got to keep these knees. We got to keep them in shape. But he would never wear it. And we would walk long distances and we would try to get him into a wheelchair. And he was like, no. What was like your big reason for not wanting to get in a wheelchair?
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Ooh, this is really good. You should know about this. So I don't know about you, but I've been known to procrastinate, especially when things scare the hell out of me. The fear alone would have me stuck, overwhelmed, confused, and all types of self-doubt. And don't even get me started on the imposter syndrome. Okay. After getting laid off, not once, but 3 times, honey, I realized that the security blanket that I made up in my head was just an excuse because I didn't really want to bet on myself. The corporate benefits that had me in that headlock, girl, they went out the window once my job decided that they no longer needed me.
Turns out that I'll save a whole nickel if I cut your salary completely.
The truth is, the only security blanket guarantee is the one that you create for yourself. In other words, until you start a business, you will always be at the mercy of a company's headcount, and you will never have complete control over your time, which means you'll be renting out your thought leadership and helping build someone else's dream instead of your own. If you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. Don't you think it's time you stop playing small and tap all the way into your power, sis? Click on the link above or below this video to learn my 3-step process, the exact 3 steps that I took to make the transition from corporate to entrepreneurship. And this is helpful even if you don't know what type of business to start and have only one source of income. And this is absolutely free. It is my gift to you. I want you to win. It's winning season. In fact, what's that? It smells like winning season. Okay, so tap in and I'll see you inside the training. Let's go!
Hola, mi gente. Banking on Cultura can be found on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. So if you're on the audio wave, make sure to check us out over there.
Because I could walk. My leg doesn't bother me that much. But now I'm getting older, so, so now I need a wheelchair.
No, I think it was because you didn't like the look.
Oh, probably that too. Yeah, probably. I don't want nobody to watch me. You go in a wheelchair.
Yeah. It's not
But
sassy.
now it's easy. We're traveling. We're the first one to get in a plane and everything.
Now, but this is a tip, guys, of how you can break your parents into getting into a wheelchair. So my dad never, ever wanted to get into a wheelchair. We would travel. He would walk long distances in the airport. And the way that we convinced you to get into a wheelchair, we were in Cancun, Mexico. I took my dad for his 80th birthday.
Yeah, that was good.
And we were at this resort. It was a huge resort. And we had to go from one side of the resort to the other side. And my dad saw that distance. And I said, should we put you in a wheelchair? And then that was the moment.
Yeah,
that was the moment. That was the
Yeah.
moment that we put him in a wheelchair. And from then on, I think your whole perspective on wheelchairs like shifted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because now when we go to the airport, by the way, guys, this is a hack for you. Okay. You heard it here on Banking on Cultura. When you pre-order a wheelchair, it's like VIP service. Most times you're able to like fly through the security line.
Yeah.
You get to the front. You're the first one to board the plane. You're the first one to leave the plane. So if there's someone in your family that needs a wheelchair, reserve it in advance. Thank me later.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Or for those of you who are watching, write a review and tell me if you ever did the wheelchair hack, or leave it in the comments on YouTube. I want to know. If you guys ever done this. But now you're more I would say accepting.
More comfortable. Now I'm more comfortable with it.
Yeah, you're more accepting of the fact that like you need some help.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So what got you over that hump? Because I'm pretty sure there's people that are listening and watching, that have stubborn parents who don't want to do that. So what is your advice to them? Like, how can we help them convince them?
Well, you have to, try to live your life, and then, if somebody try to help you, because your age, tell them it's okay, to help you out.
Mm-hmm. So be accepting to help.
Be accepting to help, yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't. But if a person is not accepting to help and they're just stubborn, like how can you?
Well, I don't know. If the person is stubborn, what could you do?
Yeah.
You won't be able to.
You gotta just let them rock out.
Let them do the thing because,
Yeah.
If you try to help them and then they don't want it, so you can push. Mm-hmm. You can push them to say, yes, okay.
Yeah.
It's up to them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, Daddy, one of the things that we were talking about when we were driving here, which I thought was really interesting, and I said I wasn't going to get into it, but we're going to get into it because I didn't want to cry and get emotional. Pero you said, I asked you if you were afraid of death, and what'd you say? I
said, no, I'm not afraid of death. I know I'm going to die, so I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. I'm okay. Okay.
Yeah.
If I die tomorrow, I'm okay.
Is that because like you feel like you lived a happy life?
Because I live my life to the fullest. So so God want to take me now. It's okay. I'm happy. I'm not afraid to die. Some people, but I'm not. I'm not afraid to die. I know I'm going to die. Everybody's going to die.
Right. Is that because you think there's like something special in the afterlife? Like you think you're going to be okay in the afterlife? Like.
I don't know. I mean, I think that when you die, the spirit get and float in the air, stay in the air. That's what I think.
Let's move this mic down. I want to make sure we don't cover your face here. There we go. Okay.
Because everybody says when you die, it's a paradise up there. But who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, nobody come down to tell you how it is, up there, right. So you don't know.
Right. Right.
You don't know.
But you said you're going to come down in your spirit and you're going to come.
Yeah, I'm going to come down. I'm going to put you by your leg.
You're going to put me by the leg.
That's me.
That's how I'm going to know.
Yes, right.
All right. Got it. Okay, Daddy. So what is your advice for living a full life? Because you said that you lived a full life. You've done it all. So what is your advice?
My advice is, don't get angry. Don't get upset for a little thing. Do your exercise. Like I do every morning. I do exercise in my house. I watch what you eat. And what you drink, and everything. Take it easy and live your life the way they're made to be. Be happy, and that's it.
And how do you think how do you find your happy? Like, how do you know what's your happy?
Well, I mean, I make so many mistakes in my life, but now in my age, so what am I going to do? I got to be happy or don't stress myself out because I'm going to die soon. I want to live longer, but I'm not afraid to die,
So what I'm hearing is the way for you to find your happy is to forgive yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself and love yourself.
Hey, that's right.
That's right.
I like
that's
that.
Right.
So forgive yourself for the mistakes that you made.
Yeah. And I make a lot.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But I turn it around and I'm okay now.
And give yourself permission. Like give yourself some grace.
Some grace, yeah.
To grow.
Yeah.
And to become a better person.
I'm now right now I'm a better person when I was younger.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, because you've learned.
Yeah, I learned from my mistake. I like to help people. And everything. So.
Why do you think people love you so much? Because literally everywhere we go, like I could put my dad anywhere and he'll make friends, like immediately.
Yeah.
Like everyone just instantly like gravitates towards him.
Friendly.
He has this energy.
I'm friendly with everybody.
Yes.
I like everybody. I make friends with everybody. Like that day in Europe, that's with that girl was in
what day?
That you got a award.
When I got an award?
Yeah.
And you were, oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Hilarious, guys. So I was honored by the Ford company, honored me as a trailblazing Latina. Shout out to Ford. And they had this, like, kind of like a gala award ceremony. And I actually had to leave early. So I left early. My dad stayed there with my sister and my brother-in-law. Shout out to Myrna and Eric. And they sent me this video, and my dad is on the dance floor with like this young woman. And like everybody was hyping them up. Everybody had the cameras out. Everybody, but this is my dad. Everywhere he goes. Everywhere he goes, he was on the dance floor living it up. Do you remember that birthday? How old did you? I think it was your 70th birthday.
Oh, 70.
Do you remember that birthday?
Oh,
when we went to the Copacabana.
Oh, yeah.
The Copacabana.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I love that. You call me daddy. I'm going to take you out for your birthday. I mean, put a suit on, dressed up nice. By 8 o'clock, you call me, go outside. And I see this big white limousine. And then the guy, hello, you Victor Rodriguez? Yes, I'm going to take you to your daughter. He said, where are we going? I cannot tell you. I get in the big limo in the back, whatever. You call me and say, Daddy, it's about a bottle of whiskey over there. Take a shot. He said, okay. So we went there to Copacabana. We opened the door. Everybody was waiting for me outside. He said, oh, my God. Oh, my friend, my family. That was, but not the 70s. That was great.
Yeah, that was a fun birthday.
Oh, man, that was good.
That was a fun birthday. I think the best part of that birthday was when you told me you were calling everybody in Puerto Rico from the limo and telling them.
Unbelievable.
And telling them that you were in the limo. But also, my dad wanted to go to the Copacabana forever and never been to the Copacabana. So that was a surprise. But after we finished dinner, we went upstairs and we went to dance and we're having a good time. And so many men came up to my dad and was like, I hope I have your energy when I'm your age. Like, I hope I'm like you. It was so much fun. It was good times. It was good times. It was good times.
How about the one when I 75?
What did we do for your 75th? I don't remember. What did we do?
Oh, my God. You took me to the strip club. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, this young girl in bikini dancing in my lap while you give me some money. Oh, God. Oh, my God.
You know what's funny is I was just thinking in my head, I was like, do we want to share that story? I don't know if they ready, but let's put it out there. If it's out there ready. Oh, my God. That was hilarious.
A great time. Oh, my God.
That was hilarious.
Oh, my God.
Was it for your birthday or was it for Father's Day?
No, that was for my 75th birthday.
Or it was for your 75th
That's right.
birthday?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, guys. This was such an amazing memory.
Oh.
It was so much fun.
And then there's two Greek guys were sitting next to me. I said, oh, my God, who's the young girl you with? Oh, she's my daughter. She bring me here for my birthday. He said, oh, my God. Oh, listen to everybody. See this woman? You bring her father for her birthday. I'll be, they got a shot. They give me a shot.
I remember we drank for free that night because everybody was so surprised that I was there with my dad.
He was surprised that your daughter bring you to the strip club. Oh my God. I tell everybody that, that story. I said, they don't believe me.
It was funny. It was a great memory. And it was one of those things that I will never forget. My best friend Lindy was there. So we all got to experience this together. And I remember, and this was the perfect way to end the night. We're walking out. But before I tell them what we're walking out, what was really funny, so I give my dad money, for tips or whatever. And all the girls needed to do was walk past my dad and smile him and he would give them money. And I'm like, Daddy, we're going to go through all the money. I don't know, make them work for it a little bit. He was just so happy and they were showing him so much love. I know, especially because they knew that he was there with his daughter. It was amazing. And then we're walking out. And then I remember you telling me, ay, Victoria, this is the best night of my life. Thank you so much for bringing me here.
Oh, that was great that night.
Oh my God. That was amazing.
That was really amazing.
So guys, if you can't tell already, this is my dad, my amazing dad, who I can literally take anywhere and he will fit right in. And he is the reason why I am so happy. He is the reason why I get to do banking on Cultura. He's the reason why I embrace my Latinidad. I used to go to Puerto Rico as a child every single summer. So that's how I got connected to my culture and really got to learn the beautiful side of my culture. And I'm just so honored to have you on the show.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm so happy that we got to do this. I know we overshared maybe a little bit. It's going to be really interesting because now it's out there in the world. But I hope people fall in love with you as much as I have. And we're going to live until we're 100 years old. We're going to walk me down the aisle.
I'm planning to.
We're going to do all the things to make sure that you are on this planet for as long as possible because you are a gift to this world, Daddy. You are a gift. So thank you for being.
I'd be honored to be here.
Thank you, Papi.
Yes.
I appreciate you. So thank you.
You are the best.
Oh, no, you the best.
I
love you so much.
I love you.
So much. And I'm trying not to cry right now. Pero thank you, Daddy, for being here. Thank you for being here.
Okay.
And you know what? I want to share one more story because this is another fun birthday story.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Ooh, this is really good. You should know about this. So I don't know about you, but I've been known to procrastinate, especially when things scare the hell out of me. The fear alone would have me stuck, overwhelmed, confused, and all types of self-doubt. And don't even get me started on the imposter syndrome. Okay. After getting laid off, not once, but 3 times, honey, I realized that the security blanket that I made up in my head was just an excuse because I didn't really want to bet on myself. The corporate benefits that had me in that headlock, girl, they went out the window once my job decided that they no longer needed me.
Turns out that I'll save a whole nickel if I cut your salary completely.
The truth is, the only security blanket guarantee is the one that you create for yourself. In other words, until you start a business, you will always be at the mercy of a company's headcount, and you will never have complete control over your time, which means you'll be renting out your thought leadership and helping build someone else's dream instead of your own. If you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. Don't you think it's time you stop playing small and tap all the way into your power, sis? Click on the link above or below this video to learn my 3-step process, the exact 3 steps that I took to make the transition from corporate to entrepreneurship. And this is helpful even if you don't know what type of business to start and have only one source of income. And this is absolutely free. It is my gift to you. I want you to win. It's winning season. In fact, what's that? It smells like winning season. Okay, so tap in and I'll see you inside the training. Let's go! Hola, mi gente. Banking on Cultura can be found on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. So if you're on the audio wave, make sure to check us out over there.
Do you remember? So, guys, I used to host this event every single year called the Women Who Roar Summit for my nonprofit, the Female Collaborative. Oh. And one year, it was actually 2020 before COVID got crazy. I held it in March 2020 before things hit the fan. And it was his birthday. And so it was a predominantly women's event, so it was massive women there. And do you remember that I had them all sing you happy birthday? So I had him come up to the stage, and they all sang him happy birthday. And he was like, oh my God, I never had this many women sing happy birthday to me before. Thank you so much, Victoria.
Yeah, that was a great night. That was a great day.
That was a great day.
Yeah.
So we celebrate birthdays around here, y'all.
Yeah.
So, I hope this episode served as a reminder of maybe checking in with your parents if you haven't spoken to them in a while, or just showing some extra love and making sure you take full advantage of the time that you have with your family, with your parents here. And if you're a daddy's girl and you're missing your dad and you guys are on the outs or maybe having challenges, I hope this episode inspires you to reach out and just say you love them if that's all you can do, and just keep celebrating your parents, y'all, and make sure you spend as much time with them as possible because it is truly a gift. Every time we hang out, it's like a ball. It's always good times.
Oh, yes.
Always good times.
Always.
Well, Papi, is there a final word that you want to leave with the people before we end today's episode?
I think we covered everything.
You think we covered it all?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
okay, sounds good to me. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I can't wait to see you on the next episode. Hola, mi gente. Banking on Cultura can be found on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. So if you're on the audio wave, make sure to check us out over there.